Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy 5th of May Eclipse Day. Happy Celebrate Another Day of Life Day. And happy We Get to Elevate in Consciousness Day. Hi, Thomas Miller. Thank you for joining us again today on the Fun Astrology podcast. We're going to talk about the eclipse the whole time here. We set the stage yesterday, painted the global picture, talked about the times and everything. 1:35 basically Eastern time. Depending on where you are, it might be a few minutes before or after. This afternoon, Eastern time, 1:34 p.m., the sun and the moon opposite each other in a full moon at 14 degrees, 58 minutes. Scorpio for the moon, Taurus for the sun. Now, we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday. We were talking about the placements and the influence of these theme builder planets in this chart. I'm not taking into consideration here that it's a minor eclipse or that it's a fairly limited viewpoint perspective on Earth. It's a great spot. Australia's had the front row seat for both of these. But think about what happens during an eclipse. Think of what's going on in the sky. There's the sun. This time, the moon is on the back side of the Earth, so the sun is blocking the moon from the sun. The cone of that block in this eclipse, the moon and the sun are at such a declination of each other that it's just catching the edge of that cone. So it's minor from that sense. But this is still a chart, and it's a chart that needs to be read. My chart is set to Asheville, North Carolina, 1:34 p.m. The moon is in Scorpio in the third house. Think about the third house. Communication in all forms. All things we take for granted. Short trips that, again, are routine. It rules all of our routine personal items like pens, pencils, pots, dishes, chairs, gadgets of all kinds, etc. Whatnots. It also rules our neighbors and our neighborhood, also our siblings. And primarily, and then as we connect this up to the ninth house, the third house rules our mind, the faculties of our mind, learning in our mind, educating our mind, using our mind, speaking our mind. These are all the characteristics of the third house. Now think again about what's going on in the sky. The Earth, or the center of the astrological chart, if you will, is blocking the moon. All those characteristics we just talked about, briefly and partially shadowed from the sun's rays for those brief few minutes. Now, what's on the other side? The ninth house. This is the house that is still in illumination. So if the third house is the mind, and you think of the lower mind, the monkey mind, then the ninth house is the higher mind. In ancient astrology, the ninth house was the house of wisdom and knowledge. It's also attributed to be the house of spirituality, of inspiration, visions, dreams, prophecies, the psychic realm. You've probably also heard things international mentioned with the ninth house. It's about long-distance travel, typically over water, the idea being across the pond, if you will. The ninth house rules publishing, books, the publishing, the distribution of books, not the writing of books, that's back in the third. And it also rules the legal system. Now, let me explore the shadow with you for a brief, quick second, then we're going to go to the personal side. And I'm just saying here, I am going to go way, way, way out on a limb here, okay? But you got to call it as you see it. Now, this is a minor eclipse, but I'm not talking about the magnitude of the eclipse in the sky or where you can and can't see it. I'm talking about this chart and the collective mundane. Basically, sleepy consciousness. Hopefully waking up a little bit, but not awake yet. Not ready to start the day. Saturn and Pluto are both in aspects to the nodes of the moon. Pluto in a tense aspect, Saturn in a more positive aspect, both creating tension, at least by their temperaments. Saturn in the seventh, in the collective, could appear on the shadow side of conflict or war. The shadow side of relationships, right? When a relationship goes bad, it often ends up in war. Where is Mars? Mars is in the 11th house of the people. It's in the sign of its fall because it's opposite where it is exalted in Capricorn. We haven't heard a lot from Mars in this Cancer transit, but Could this be, even on the mundane level, that there is some kind of trigger out there, some kind of something that could be for the purpose of moving the collective consciousness to where the light is shining, up in the ninth house? The question is, what would that catalyst be? How much would it take? Now let's talk about us personally, because this is where the real juice is, and we really just tipped the beans, because this is a call to higher consciousness. And even if we take all of those aspects of the third house, those elements of the third house that we talked about, all the stuff that is routine, all of the monkey mind chatterbox, zipping here, zipping there in our transportation in our cars, picking up the kids, doing all the things that we have to do and get done in the end of the day, maybe there's a shadow that falls on that, just enough that we put our focus up on the higher consciousness areas of the ninth house, where the sun is brightly shining. The North Node, our karmic lighthouse, is up there shining. Jupiter is saying, come on up here, I'll bless you. I've got fire on my side. You have to turn off the routine and the third house and the monkey mind long enough to make the connection, to take the longer road trip. And you have to allow Pluto and Saturn and Neptune in the 6th, 7th, and 8th house, respectively, to do their work. That's the cosmic and karmic Holy Spirit right there. I mean, seriously, that is, do your karmic transformation in order to redeem your soul back to source, back to God, back to spirit, back to the ninth house, where it's shining and bright and warm. Does that shed a little different light on this eclipse and all this stuff that's been going on? See, the world is resisting. You and I don't have to. I love you so much. Happy Eclipse Day. Hope you enjoy it a little better. Back with Ray Merriman in the markets tomorrow. Here again on Monday after Level Up on Sunday.